Call this meeting to order for the April 7th, 2025 regular town council meeting. Would you please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance? Carol, would you lead us?
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. So we'll move over to item C, presentations and recognitions. Kathy.
So we have our some new team members for our Westwoods Golf Course and Recreation, so I thought it'd be nice to have them come on in. They're they're thrilled to be here. And so we have Jessie right here, who you guys all met as our new Director of Parks and Recreation. And then next to her, we have Steve, who is our new golf pro. And then JP, who is not new. How long have you been with us? He's our golf course superintendent. 2017, so he's our superintendent. You guys all know Jim Rusbason. He's in charge of the maintenance at the golf course. And then we have Carol and Mike, who are running Carol's lunchbox and hot dog stand over at the golf course. And so we opened up at the last week, right? Or was it this week? April 1st. April 1st. How's everything going? Go well? Yeah. Yeah.
To see some sunshine and a little less rain.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
It's great.
a whole new team. We're putting on a new patio onto the Westwoods, the outside, and the restaurant has been refreshed with new furniture and everything like that. And the golf pro, you've been making the rounds with the leagues and everything, so how's that?
Started today, so with our leagues today, unfortunately didn't kick off with the rain and the cold, but we're anticipating tomorrow.
Tomorrow. So they've been hitting the ground running, and so just wanted them to come in and say hi to everyone, and we're really excited about the season, and thank you.
Excellent. Carol, hours of operation for the restaurant?
Monday through Saturday, 11 a.m. to 7:30 p.m. and Sundays, 7 a.m. to 7:30 p.m.
Awesome. Wow.
We serve breakfast on Sundays.
Excellent. Great. And anything else we should know about the golf? Obviously, not working too much today with the rain, but
It's green.
Pro shop is revitalized, I think all the interior with the new restaurant, everything has been, honestly, fresh coat of paint does a lot of things, but, you know, the team at Public Works and Recreation have done an amazing job over there. I'm really excited to be part of the team.
excellent.
And Canton High School found themselves without a home course, so we stepped up to the plate and took them on as well this season. So they'll be with us for a short period, and then we'll be switching between two courses to be one of our home courts.
Okay. Good. That's really nice. Excellent.
Yeah, so we're very excited about it, and
Excellent.
everyone go and watch the sunset, go to Carol's,
No,
play
let's
some
let's
golf.
not talk about the sunset yet. I want to experience that first before it gets too crowded. Okay. You know, we start putting it out there too much and everyone's gonna be hanging out.
But anyway, I told them they all could, they were welcome to stay and watch the budget if they like.
I know they want. I know every time I see JP, I always like, oh, I want to come to your meeting so bad and hang out. I'm like, yeah, well, we'll swap. You come to my meeting, I'll come to work with you for a day and everything, so
So,
anytime.
all right. Well, thank you, everyone. Appreciate you coming in.
Thank you for taking a minute for coming in and say hello to us.
Thanks.
Nice to meet you all.
We'll move on to D, the public hearing.
Legal notice, Town of Farmington public hearing. A public hearing will be held on Monday, April 7th, 2025, at 7:05 p.m. in the Town Hall Council Chambers on the Town Council's proposed budget for the fiscal year 2025-2026, dated at Farmington, Connecticut, this 19th day of March, 2025. Kathleen A. Blonsky, Town Manager.
Yeah, you're going to do the slides, right? Okay, thanks. Good evening. Tonight I present for your review the Town Council's proposed budget for the fiscal year 25-26, the budget process. The Town of Farmington follows a detailed budget process. The process begins with the Town Manager developing a proposed budget based on departmental request, projected revenues, and long-term financial planning. This budget is then reviewed by the Town Council, which holds public hearings to gather input from residents. After deliberation and potential revisions, the Town Council adopts a recommended budget, which is then presented to the public. public. Following tonight's public hearing, the Town Council's recommended budget is sent to an annual town meeting on Monday, April 21st at 7 p.m. Farmington residents then have an opportunity to approve or reject the budget at a townwide referendum. Budget workshop actions. During budget deliberations last month, the Town Council added the following items back into the budget: $167,245 to the police department. Funds would be utilized for 2 marked and 1 unmarked police vehicle and their associated technical equipment. $11,500 to the town manager's office. Funds would be utilized for the hiring of a part-time custodian to assist in the maintenance of the new town hall, the 1928 building, the town hall annex, and the Staples House. $10,000 to Hope Partners of Farmington. Funds would be provided to a local nonprofit organization, Hope Partners of Farmington, formerly Services for the Elderly of Farmington. $5,000 Interval House. Funds would be donated to the local nonprofit organization, Interval House. The following reductions were also approved by the Town Council during last month's budget workshops, including $140,000 from the town's capital improvement plan and $244,482 from the Board of Education's capital improvement plan. Budget objective. The budget strives to maintain current service levels and increases capital funding, which includes 2 separate bond authorizations. The budget does include use of fund balance, but even with the proposed $800,000 appropriation, the current fund balance meets our fund balance policy. Expenditure summary. I will now review the Town Council's proposed budget. The general fund budget includes the proposed spending for the town, for the school system, for debt service, and for capital improvements. The proposed budget for Westwood's Golf Course, the Recreation Fund, and solid waste collection and disposal are also included for your review. The budget is broken down into 3 categories: expenditures, grand list, and revenues, which are used to develop a tax rate. The proposed budget for fiscal year 25-26 is $136,765,432, an increase of $8,164,267, or 6.35% above the current budget. Town operations by category. The proposed town budget is $36,441,160, an increase of $1,419,503, or 4.05% above current expenditures. This includes general administration with an increase of 5%, public safety an increase of 2.56%, public works an increase of 6.09%, community and recreation an increase of 15.93%, and an other with an increase of 2.68%. Some areas to note. In general, this budget does not include any new services, new equipment, or full-time positions, and many accounts have been reduced. Contractual obligations and overall personnel costs townwide have increased due to the current job market and an effort to attract and retain employees. The budget funds only 1 seasonal employee at Westwood's Golf Course. Previous budgets eliminated the second position, and we were unable to bring it back in this budget. This requires us to transfer a highway and grounds employee to the golf course, which reduces services in the highway department. The Register of Voters account has increased due to the early voting mandate. The increase includes salaries, staffing, supplies, and equipment for early voting events. Townwide contractual services accounts overall have increased significantly. Building repair and maintenance contracts have increased 23.20%. Utility accounts have increased significantly throughout the budget. Electricity has increased by 23.5%, and communications, internet, and telephone has increased by 19%. The budget includes funds to operate and maintain the new town hall, the 1928 building, for 4 months. It should be noted that the next year this facility will need to be funded for the entire year. The calls for service in the fire department have increased significantly, resulting in higher contractual payment to the volunteer departments. Accounts in the fire department budget have been increased to reflect actual spending. Expenditures by object. This budget is further separated by object, which includes salaries, benefits, supplies, equipment, contractual, and utilities. The increase for salaries is 3.88%. The increase for benefits is 2.63%. There is a decrease of 0.25% for materials supplies. There is an increase of 0.07% for equipment. The increase for contractual is 5.20%. Lastly, there is an increase of 9.87% for utilities. The proposed total town general fund appropriation is $36,441,160, which is 4.05% increase above the current budget. Debt service. The debt group of accounts includes appropriations to make principal and interest payments on the town's long-term debt obligations. The total amount proposed for next fiscal year is $13,716,271. This is an increase of $2,290,003, or 20.04%. The funds in these accounts pay for lease financing obligations, clean water loans, and the principal and interest due to the town's existing bonded debt. Funds are also included in this account for an interest payment on a debt issuance plan for the fall of 2025. The debt proceeds will be used to pay the expenses associated with the building of the new Farmington High School, the renovation of the 900 wing to the Board of Education offices, road paving, the Westwood School roof replacement, the purchase of 2 fire apparatuses, and the replacement of the HVAC system at the police facility. Special services. The refuse collection budget includes the cost of collecting and disposing of solid, bulky, and hazardous waste generated by town residents and the town's landfill operation. This budget proposes an increase of 3%, or $8. The annual fee will be $276 per household. General fund capital and appropriations. The town's capital improvement policy and the town's strategic plan were the policy guidelines that were at the forefront when formulating the CIP. The proposed general fund appropriation to support the first year of the capital improvement plan is $3,017,018. There is also 2 bond questions. In accordance with our financial forecast, bonding large projects and equipment on a consistent basis and adhering to our capital improvement policy enables us to fund our capital needs. Summary of capital projects year 1. $1,349,518 Board of Education General Fund, which will be outlined in detail later this evening. $1,667,500 to the town's general fund projects, which are outlined on the screen. This brings the general fund projects total to $3,017,018. Summary of other appropriations in year 1. The capital projects shown on the screen are being funded by other funding sources and not through the general fund or taxpayer dollars. These funding sources include donations, state dollars, and user fees totaling $115,000. Funds will be used for the complete restoration of the Gamprel section of the Tinty Barn and to replace the netting at the Tungus Mead softball field, respectively. $300,000 will be reallocated from the Main Street Sidewalk Project to fund sidewalk improvements to Meadow Road. Summary of bonding, $1 million to the Highway and Grounds HVAC system replacement. Funds would be used to replace the original 1999 HVAC system that is no longer working and cannot be repaired. $2,200,000 for the Community and Senior Center HVAC system replacement. Funds would be used to replace the original 2002 HVAC system. $450,000 Community and Senior Center roof replacement. Funds would be used to replace the original 2002 roof at the Community and Senior Center. This budget proposes to couple the HVAC replacement project with the roof replacement at the Community and Senior Center. The Community and Senior Center roof is 23 years old, original to the building, and has leaks that frequently require repair. It is scheduled to be replaced in the 7-year capital plan. The ACUs are rooftop units, and it will be the most efficient and economical if the roof is replaced at the same time as the HVAC replacement. Total project cost is $2,650,000. Expenditure summary. The total proposed budget for fiscal year 25-26 is $136,765,432, an increase of $8,164,267, or 6.35% above the current budget. I will now call on Kathy Greeter, Superintendent of Schools, to present the Board of Education budget. Thank you.
Thank you, Kathy. Good evening, Town Council members and the Farmington community. It's my pleasure to present the 25-26 Board of Education's recommended budget. The budget development process in Farmington is grounded in our strategic improvement documents each year. This alignment is critical to ensure our financial plan advances the implementation of our core improvement documents across all schools and classrooms. Given our educational programming and student outcomes, this alignment has continued to serve the community, families, and students of Farmington well. From initial school submissions to the refinement of our operating budget through school and program reviews of all requests, zero-based budgeting practices were utilized. This slide shows Farmington's mission statement, which promotes personal and academic excellence for all students, as well as the acquisition of all the skills and dispositions outlined within our vision of the global citizen, ensuring Farmington students lead the way now and in the future. Our core improvement documents are listed on this slide. They serve as the foundation for strategic planning, teacher and administrator goal setting, hiring and recruiting, professional development, teaching and learning, and operations, as well as today's budget recommendation or our financial plan. With our core improvement documents at the forefront of the development of this budget, here are the major themes or drivers of the 25-26 budget. The Board of Education's recommended budget maintains and advances academic excellence through innovative programming pre-K through 12th grade, promotes continuous improvement within operations and student-centered teaching, learning, and programming, supports contractual increases across many budget lines, more specifically in the areas of personnel, facilities, transportation, and all other contracted services, supports increased student need in the areas of academic and social emotional well-being, addresses restoration of funding due to 24-25 budget reductions, addresses cost increases across supply, equipment, energy, and many other accounts due to inflation, addresses continued state and federal legislative mandates required by law, factors in all other grant funding to offset costs to mitigate the overall increase in the operating budget, contains costs with zero-based budgeting, reductions and efficiencies to maintain and advance current programming, and maintains class size levels in accordance with Board of Education policy. This slide provides an overview of the recommended operating budget for the 25-26 school year. The total recommended budget amount is $83,240,983 for a dollar increase of $3,696,744, or a percent increase over the 24-25 budget of 4.65%. This slide shows the school district's commitment to fiscal responsibility. The rankings listed on this slide are statewide, including all school districts, with one spending the most and 166 spending the least. It is important to note that Farmington ranks 107 in the most up-to-date per pupil expenditures reported by the Connecticut State Department of Education as compared to all other Connecticut school districts, which is $985 less per pupil than the state per pupil average, or a difference of approximately $4 million. Although we rank 107 in per pupil expenditures, our schools and school district consistently rank at the top of leading schools and school districts in Connecticut and beyond across a variety of state and/or national rankings and outcomes. The first budget driver is salaries, the 100 series, which accounts for 66% of the total recommended budget. The budget increase in the salary line is 4.26% and reflects negotiated contractual obligations. This series reflects all of our association's salary increases for the coming year, which are highlighted on this slide. The next budget driver is insurance, or the 200 series, which accounts for 14% of the total recommended budget with a slight 0.74% increase. The 200 series includes employee health benefits, providing 100% of expected paid claims with a high deductible HSA and coinsurance, as well as life insurance and long-term disability cost. Due to collaborative work with the town of Farmington, we are providing excellence in healthcare while collaborating to create significant cost containment and reductions in the self-insurance series. Services is the next budget driver, the 300 series, which accounts for 16% of the total recommended budget. This is a very volatile series of the budget due to the categories of costs within this series. There's an increase of 10.39% in the services series. This account provides for special services, consultation services, and tuition costs for outplacements, major facility projects, K-8 summer school, and technology-based operational systems, as well as professional development. The increase is driven by special services costs due to student need, as well as an account supporting transportation services, facilities, and electricity. There's also restoration of funding across areas due to reductions in the 24-25 budget and increased cost across many areas of the services account due to the economy. Special services increase account for 60% of the increase in this series due to increased student need and diminishing state grant funding. The next series is supplies, or the 400 series, which accounts for 3% of the total recommended budget. The supplies series reflects a slight increase of 1.23% for restoration of supply funding due to budget reductions in the 24-25 budget approval process and increased cost across all areas of supplies series due to the economy. The 500 series or equipment series accounts for 1% of the total recommended budget and reflects an increase of 7.37% due to a need for equipment, restoration of reductions in equipment in the 24-25 budget, and increased costs due to the economy. Dues and fees, or the 600 series, accounts for less than 1% of the total recommended budget and shows a 15.54% increase. This account includes memberships in organizations that support our strategic improvement efforts. This account also includes the Town of Farmington's negotiated liability, umbrella, and motor vehicle insurance for the school district. Insurance costs for the new high school is the main driver of the increase in this series. Here is a view of the entire Board of Education's recommended operating budget, all of which I reviewed within this budget presentation. The Board of Education's capital improvement budget for the 25-26 fiscal year is $1,349,518. The capital budget for the school district was presented in detail to the Town Council at their February 25th meeting. The capital improvement budget is created with the following short and long-term planning documents to ensure a proactive approach to maintenance and improvement of facilities and operations. Our K-8 facility reports, our 10-year security audit, all hazard safety and security plans, tools for schools reports, roof review, anticipated or current legislative mandates, school leadership, and head custodian recommendations. This budget reflects efficiencies and reductions from the Board of Education's original capital request. This slide provides our 7-year plan for capital improvement. In summary, the 25-26 recommended budget maintains current programming and is responsive to our students' needs. Many Connecticut school districts are facing similar or larger budget increases in 25-26, and we are no exception. The recommended budget advances academic excellence while maintaining current programming and services pre-K through 12th grade. The budget supports contractual increases across many budget lines, specifically in the areas of personnel, facilities, transportation, and contracted services. Special services is a particular driver of this budget across various accounts and is a similar driver across all Connecticut school districts due to student need, especially with fluctuation of state-level grant funding. We are also restoring funding across several accounts due to 24-25 budget reductions. I want to also note that inflation is impacting costs across many budget lines and accounts. We have implemented zero-based budgeting, factored in projected grant funding, as well as a reallocation of funding within the operating budget to offset or reduce costs to mitigate the overall increase in this budget. There is some good news in the budget within self-insurance. Due to collaborative work with the Town of Farmington, we are providing excellence in healthcare while collaborating to create cost containment and reductions in self-insurance of approximately $1 million. At all times, our strategic improvement efforts and financial plan are centered upon our students, their needs, and their future as self-aware individuals, empowered learners, disciplined thinkers, engaged collaborators, and civic-minded contributors. Thank you for your attention to this presentation, and I will now turn the presentation back to our town manager, Kathy Blonsky. Thank you.
Thank you, Kathy. The grand list. The grand list is broken down into 3 categories: real estate, personal property, and motor vehicles. The real estate account shows a 0.4% increase. The personal property account shows a 14.98% increase, and the motor vehicles account shows an 8.85% decrease. In summary, the grand list increased by 0.61%, or $27,544,992, for a total grand list of $4,535,966,760. Some areas to note. The increase in the net taxable real estate is from apartment construction and development, residential development, and medical office construction. The motor vehicle list declined by 8.9%, principally because of the change in the required standard evaluation from average retail value to a standard schedule applied to the manufacturer's suggested retail price based on the year of the vehicle. Revenues. I've broken down revenues into 9 categories: other property taxes, license and permits, fines and penalties, interest, grants, service charges, other, Westwood's contribution, and fund balance. In summary, proposed non-tax revenues are $15,185,923, or a 9.53% increase over the current year. Some areas to note. State and federal grants have increased from last year. Based on the governor's budget, the town is projected to receive an additional $2,175,719 in state and federal grants. Interest has increased by $395,000, or 39.70%. The fund balance contribution is proposed at $800,000. Proposed tax and mill rate. The proposed general fund budget will require a property tax rate of 26.62 mills, which is an increase of 1.17 mills, or a 4.61% tax increase. In other words, $100,000 of assessed value equals $2,662 in taxes. Based on a tax rate of 26.62 mills, the average residential assessment will see an increase of $353.39 in their taxes. In conclusion, the annual town meeting is on Monday, April 21st, at the new Farmington High School auditorium and on Zoom. Please be aware that only those attending the meeting in person will be able to ask questions. The referendum is between 6 a.m. and 8 p.m. on Thursday, May 1st, at your regular polling place. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We'll go to public comment based on the hearing. If there's anybody inside the chamber here who'd like to make public comment, please step up to the podium, your name, address, and you have 5 minutes.
On the budget.
On the budget. Thank you. Anybody in chambers? Kat, anybody online with their hands up?
I do not see any hands raised.
All right.
Oh, I spoke too soon.
All right.
All right, we have Tim Kelly.
All right. Tim, can you hear us? Tim, are you there?
Tim, you just have to unmute. You should be able to, he's unmuted.
Tim, can you try again with your voice? Looks like
Nicole.
anybody else? Then we can come back to him.
Yeah, that's the only hand I have.
Sorry, Tim, I don't know what's going on your end, but then at that point, we will then end public comment
It's the public hearing.
and close the public hearing. On to item E, new items. We don't have any, so we'll open up to F, regular public comment. If anybody here in the council chambers would like to make regular public comment, please come up to the podium, state your name and address, and you have 5 minutes. Anybody inside chambers for regular public comment? I know you want to go, Superintendent. The students have to stay, you can go.
The students, yeah, they're supposed to give us a summary of what they just heard.
Anybody online would like to give public comment?
I don't see any hands.
Nothing? All right. then we will move on. Thank you very much. Superintendent and your staff, thank you very much for coming out.
Thanks,
Appreciate it. And our one Board of Ed member, thank you. Students have to stay. We'll move to G. Keith.
Make a motion for approval of the March 11th, March 12th, and March 13th, 2025 regular town council meeting.
Second?
Motion and second. We have changes?
Yes. I have a change to the March 11th, 2025 meeting minutes. I think it should be noted that I recused myself for the second executive session motion.
Thank you. Anybody else have any changes to any of the meetings? Anybody else? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. H, we have no communications, written appeals. We'll move to reports of the committees. 1928 Building Committee. Construction began the week of February 10th, 2025, and selective demolition and abatement has been completed on all 3 floors of the building. To date, the project remains on schedule. Upcoming tasks for April will include exterior windows, removal, and temporary boards in the opening, and I think that's already begun. Removal of unforeseen ACM flooring in the first floor corridor. Demo and saw cutting of interior concrete slabs. MEP equipment layouts on all floors 1 through 3. We're going to be laying out and framing of walls on floors 1 through 3. MEP rough-ins at ceiling and wall floors. And the last is they're going to start installing drywall on the 3rd floor. So things are moving along fine. It looks great. It's pretty cool to see the plastic and the windows all opened up. So I'm glad to see everything running the way it should. We'll move over to the Fire Station Committee.
Yes, we met on March 26th. That was our last meeting. Dave and I felt that we needed a few more details and information, and that it would be prudent to look at these details before presenting our findings to the rest of the town council. Our next meeting will be as soon as the new pricing is available. Anything else?
No, I think, yep, that's perfect.
All right, thank you. Sidewalk Committee.
Sidewalk Committee met March 18th. We were given, amongst other things, this great map by town staff that no one can see, but I'm showing it anyway. But it shows, I think our number was, we were trying to figure out what percentage of town is currently covered in sidewalk, non-trail-based sidewalk, and I think we were at 33%. Then we're also going to continue to try to figure out which portion of that sidewalk is in great condition or passable condition. Learning about what passable condition is. I have walked, I was trying to count up, 29 streets and not one perfect sidewalk yet. So, so that's my own anecdotal evidence. Our next meeting is tomorrow night, which we will be continuing to review information from staff that they have been gathering for us. We're very appreciative of that. And we're going to look for a draft presentation of a potential public meeting down the road. Brian, anything to add?
No, I've been walking in the 1st District, which is a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, finding a lot of new sidewalks, which is really beautiful, and some challenges as well.
Yeah, Russ said any sidewalk with a raise of elevation of more than 3/4 of an inch or a crack through it is deemed unpassable. So as you walk, just take a look and then do your own. Next, sorry.
I'm glad to see you guys are getting your steps in.
We are.
Getting a
yes.
segue.
Bicycle.
Thank you. Just a couple of things to share. April 9th, on Wednesday morning at 6:30, we're going to be doing a town, at the town garage, we're going to do a training for town employees. So if you want to learn about bike safety and how you as a driver can be aware of what's going on and bikers in town, you can attend that, but it's really for the town. We should have updates to the bike committee webpage going in this week, which is nice. April 26th, which is cleanup day, members of our committee will be participating in the cleanup of the trails. Not the whole thing, but because I know a lot of other people will be helping as well. But just a reminder, be out there on the 26th. We have 2 water fountains that are now operational on the trails. And I do have some results of our 2024 League of American Bicycle Bicyclist Survey, which we got awarded bronze. We're very close to getting silver. There are a few things that we could do, and I won't give you all of the points here, but just the conclusions we came up with. Farmington's off-road trails are highly valued, but on-road biking conditions need significant improvement. Key priorities include expanding bike lanes, especially on Route 4 and other major roads, enhancing connectivity between trails and key destinations such as schools and shops. Increasing traffic enforcement would be really helpful, and driver and biker education are paramount, because the more we know, the better we can be to work together on the roads. And addressing safety hazards like distracted driving and poor road shoulders are the things that we heard. That's the feedback that we got back, so that was really the most important stuff. We'll be meeting on Wednesday evenings as well. That's our next meeting.
Excellent. Congratulations on making it to the podium there. Farmington High School Building Committee.
So there's not a lot to report since my last report. At the last meeting, we continued to process invoices and some change orders. I think Kathy's report in the strategic plan gives a nice update of where we are on the building process. And our next meeting, I don't think we have a certain date yet, because we were trying to decide whether it's spring break, we might move it. I don't know if we've
I think we
locked
have
that
a
in.
quorum for spring
Okay,
break, so
we
we're
do? Okay, so then our next meeting will be, what is that, the 16th at 5 PM?
Awesome. Thank you.
Is there a date of substantial completion for this part of it? Like, is there a projected date of substantial completion?
Off the top of my head, I don't know the date exactly, but we are nearing completion. Furniture delivery for the central office is happening towards the end of this month in April, so we should be very close to that, but I can get the firm date.
That'd be great.
Excellent. Green efforts.
Green Efforts met the first, was that last Tuesday? Last Tuesday, for sure. So Green Efforts Super Bowl is coming up, as Brian alluded to, which is April 26th. It's a Saturday, 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. So it's Town Cleanup Day, which I'll get into, but I want to make sure everybody's aware. You can start cleaning up now, anything you collect can be weighed on the 26th to go towards one of our heaviest haul prizes. We've gotten a bunch of local businesses, Fork and Fire Naples, Wooden Tap, Bollywood Dreams, George's, Farmington Miniature Golf Ice Cream, have all donated gift cards. And there's going to be 4 locations: the Farmington Firehouse, IAR, Tunx's Hose, and Tunx's Mead, which will be collecting trash. If you haven't pre-collected, you can show up to any of those locations on the day of. They will give you a trash grabber and a trash bag. We even have maps which will indicate in each area of town what may need the most attention. And we encourage everybody to come out, bring a team, bring your family, bring your Boy Scout troop, bring your soccer team. It's the first week of soccer too, so once you get done playing, come and collect some trash. And I brought enough of these to share with all my town council members, so maybe they can post up somewhere, don't litter them. And that's it.
Excellent. You say the Super Bowl?
It's the Green Efforts Super Bowl. Now, we should be paying attention to Green Efforts all year round, as I've been learning from the great committee. There's a very educated committee on the Green Effort stuff. But this is a big day for the town. We usually collect a lot of trash.
Yeah, we certainly do.
There was heated, vigorous debate I heard last year about some of the prizes and who won and who had the most. So it's a big day.
Excellent. And we'll finish up with Land Acquisition Committee. We have nothing new to report. I know our committee members are always out there looking for possible new purchases of land, and obviously when we find one, that's when we usually have a meeting and sit up and talk about it. So nothing new to report at this time. Any other questions based on the last reports? And we'll move over then to the chair. Report of the chair and liaisons. So on April 12th, from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. is the 47th Annual Spring Celebration. That will be located at the Farmington Polo Club at 152 Town Farm Road. And it's our annual Easter egg hunt. You can get pictures with the bunny. There'll be food trucks, vendors, pony rides, and more. Registration is required, and it's a $10 per family. All proceeds benefit the Farmington Food Pantry, but tonight is your deadline to register. So if you plan on attending this event, please go to Explore Farmington. You will find a link in order to sign up for the event. Also, check out Explore Farmington for all of the future events here in town. And I have a save the date for you, which will be Sunday, May 18th from 1 p.m. to 6 p.m. There'll be the Farmington Unico Sal D'Amaro Italian Dinner at the Holy Family Retreat Center at 303 Tunxus Road in West Hartford. And this benefit is for Unico. It happens every year, and it's a great time. And I'm sure more information will be coming about as we get closer. We'll move on to the Board of Education.
Joe,
Thank you.
Yes.
for that Unico, I just wanted to make everybody aware that a portion of the proceeds are going to go to the Farmington Fire Department.
Excellent. Thank you. Go ahead.
Right, thank you. The big topic for the Board of Ed is the search for a new superintendent. Sarah and I met with members of the CABE Search Services team regarding that search, and essentially they are developing a profile that will be presented to the Board of Education for the purposes of the search. They use the word profile, but essentially qualifications was the town looking for. There were a number of focus group meetings over the month of March. I know there was a survey that went out to parents and members of the community to complete for what they were looking for. And I believe, and Sarah can fill in if she wants to add anything, but I think in our conversation, we essentially demonstrated that whoever comes in has really big shoes to fill, because everything we highlighted was, oh, she does that too. But that presentation on the profile that they're putting together will be made to the Board of Education tomorrow night at 7 p.m. at the high school.
Excellent. And thank you both for taking time out of your busy days in order to do that for us. Conservation Inland Wetlands.
Conservation Inland Wetlands met last week, April 2nd, and their next meeting is April 16th. They recently approved the application for a concrete patio adjacent to the clubhouse at Westwoods. And the big item on their agenda is has been an application for a senior active adult housing complex, which will be 20 standalone, they're proposing 20 standalone single-family homes at 598 Plainville Avenue. There was a site walk on March 31st with the commission and the applicant, and it was on the agenda again for last week's meeting, but the applicant had not yet addressed all of staff's questions, so it's been postponed. For anyone who's trying to figure out where 598 Plainville Ave is, it's between because numbers mean nothing, so it's between Tanbark Trail and Autumn Way. Okay. And then the last item is there is a site walk this weekend for an application from the Farmington Land Trust to make repairs to the fishing pier that's been in disarray for the past few years along the rails to trails there in Unionville, hoping to be able to make it usable and safe again.
Thank you. We'll go on to 5, Historic District. Oh, EDC, I'm sorry, 4. See, I don't put my glasses on, I can't see anything.
The EDC, the last meeting was on March 12th, and it was canceled. However, I can report that the EDC is partnering with ConStep, and it will be hosting a business forum for manufacturers on May 7th, and its focus will be on cybersecurity and AI. The events take place in the Town Hall Pavilion from 8 to 10. The Cultural District will be hosting a live art walk on May 31st on Main Street from 12 to 4, and artists will be painting on Main Street properties' front lawns, and it should be an interesting event. The meeting is scheduled for next Wednesday, April 9th. Well, yeah, this Wednesday.
Thank you. Now Historic District Commission.
Which one?
Number 5, Farmington.
The Farmington, oh, yeah, thank you. Of note is the Farmington Historic District Study Report was postponed until our next meeting, which is going to be this Tuesday, or next Tuesday, April 15th, here in Chambers. So you would definitely want to hear more about that. There were a number of things that were approved, and nothing of super note, but just know that the folks on the Historic Commission are doing a great job keeping our historic district historic.
Thank you.
And the details are, can be found in the minutes. I won't recite them all for you here.
Appreciate it. 6, Human Relations Commission.
Human Relations Commission's met a few times since I last reported. However, the meeting in February, there was not a quorum, so it was a let's get together and chat, but no business was conducted. And really, the update is in the quarterly reports that are in our agenda packet tonight.
All right, thank you. 7, Library Board.
The library board will be meeting next Wednesday, and they continue to work on different programming to offer at the library. And that's all I have.
All right. Town Planning and Zoning, 8.
Town Planning and Zoning met last on March 24th, and I would say it was a milestone because staff in the Town Planning and Zoning Commission have worked on new provisions for food trucks, and that kind of all took place over the winter and kind of was approved in the earlier part of March, and we had the first applicant come in on March 24th, and it was granted approval. And so, you know, I think, you know, there was a lot of work and effort put into that. There was a lot of dialogue as far as making sure the details to that program, those provisions were complementary to the town of Farmington, and as well as proprietors that want to come in and take advantage of setting up a food truck. And here we have our first applicant, and I would say it's off and running.
Excellent. I think it was Craft Bird or.
Craft Bird.
Right,
Eric-
yeah,
Eric
at 17
Stagel.
Depot.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
Local to town too now, and
Yep.
really good food.
I wish them the best of luck. We'll go to 9, Unionville Historic District.
The April 3rd meeting was canceled. They were working on programs for this coming fall. The next meeting is May 8th.
Excellent. Thank you. And lastly, Water Pollution Control Authority.
Our next meeting is this Wednesday at 7 PM.
All right, thank you. And we'll close out J, and we'll move on to K, Report of the Town Manager.
You have the written reports in your packet. You can see that we have accomplished a lot in this last quarter. We also, I just wanted to make note of the Small Cities Grant that we did win. We had an award. The Town of Farmington and New Horizons received the Sterling Achievement Award for Excellence in Housing, and our staff alongside New Horizon Village assisted in the presentation and video testimony from the residents, which was shown on the national level. So we're proud of that with Nancy Parent and her staff. And then I just wanted to talk quickly just about Memorial Day Parade. As I forgot, but last year we were canceled with the rain, if you remember. We were supposed to be in Unionville. I am recommending that we go to Unionville because we haven't been in Unionville if we're still doing the one parade. And I think people seem to like that.
Okay, so stay in Unionville for this year since we canceled it last year, right?
Yep, is that everyone?
Were you in Farmington Center the year before?
Yes.
Yeah,
You're okay.
23, it was in Unionville Center, but before that, it was the abbreviated COVID routes that went to Town Hall for 2 years. So
We
we
did
haven't
the-
been to Unionville in some time.
Farmington Ave walk, right?
Yes, right out here.
Big one here, huh? Here's a big dilemma, Farmington or Unionville, people.
Well, well, I think it's because of the fact that they've been kicked back in the schedule for a while now. And last year was in, you know, inclement weather. I know some people were planning
They
for
were looking
Memorial
forward to
Day
it.
on Main Street. And so this would be a change in some of those.
Yeah, some of those things.
Some of those anticipated things that they were gonna do.
Right.
It's tough, because then if it rains this year, then do we go back to Unionville next year? And then they could lose another year. But it's tough. I don't know.
I don't know. That's a tough one. I sort of think we stay on.
Sounds like a policy choice we're going to have to come up with.
Both great routes.
Yeah, both great routes. I think you sort of stay, because what if you get rain again this year, then what happens for next year? You know? So, I think it'd take a little consensus from the board, or?
Consensus? Yeah, could I
Yeah.
have that, please?
Kathy, why don't you make the call?
Farmington and Unionville, people, it's time to do a little vote, I guess. Brian?
Regardless of which place we go to, I just think if it was Farmington last year, I would say go back to Farmington this year because it was rained out. But that's mine. So both routes are good. You know, I'm up for whatever.
Yeah, they are both good, so.
But we got to
It's
pick
still
one.
Farmington, regardless of where you hold it.
That is true, but you got to pick a route.
I agree with Kathy's recommendation of Unionville,
All right.
given that it was rained out last year.
Brian?
I will support that because I would want that in Farmington's first district if that were to happen. So I
Okay.
would support that.
Sarah?
I'm really neutral, so I could go either way, whatever.
Neutral. David?
Yeah, I think Brian kind of hit the nail on the head. I would say, if it happened to the first district, to Main Street, I would certainly be looking for that. But I do think we should,
But you get
if it
two
does
shots.
rain this year, I think,
It's going to Farmington regardless next
right,
year.
I think it has to go to Farmington regardless.
Yeah.
If it rains again this year, it goes back to.
Right.
It's got to go back, so yeah, you can't do 3 years in a row.
Right.
All right, so Unionville.
I agree with the
Unionville?
decision Patty made, yeah.
I just agreed with Kathy. That's all I did.
Everyone pointing the finger, right?
All
These
right.
people did it.
All right, we'll talk to the veterans tomorrow just to get things firmed up, but that's what I'll bring back to them.
All right.
I don't know if anyone has any questions on my report.
Are we wearing sashes?
No. You can, Brian.
Can I get a report of the town manager?
Make a motion to approve the town manager's report.
Second.
Motion and second, any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion passes. L appointments, I don't think we have any. Does anybody else have any
We don't
appointments?
have any appointments.
All right. No appointments. M, old business, we have none, so we'll go to N1, please.
Make a motion to approve the town council's recommended budget for fiscal year 2025, 2026.
Second.
Motion and second. Kathy?
You have the budget in front of you, what you guys did at the workshop, and it's attached to your packet.
Excellent. Any questions?
Yeah, Kathy, sorry,
Yeah.
I was on vacation all weekend. I just looked at this today. so
Yep.
I didn't get a chance to reach out before. My recollection is in 2017, 2018, when we moved funds around from other banking accounts in the capital, that we still showed it on the capital budget as a source of other funds.
Yep, we should have done that.
I don't, I just see G and B, I don't
Right.
see.
Well, you have like, let's see,
So-
we have like on planning, we have Tinty Barn, you have an O for other.
Okay, so then is it the Board of Ed one then, that I'm just missing it on? You're right, I do see it on the other ones.
Yeah, so the Board of Ed, which would be, do they, they don't have another O.
Okay.
They all come out of the general fund.
I thought we moved, so we moved everything to, because I thought we had taken some out of the structural of the Board of Ed because it came from other funds.
Joe, can you explain how we do that?
You take it from the different projects, public board of ed, except unless it's a bond, bonding project, everything would be a G. So you would see a change in the balances. And it wouldn't be in the 24, it wouldn't be in the 25, 26, it would be in the 24, 25, because the action we took for the transfers, the 24, 25 transfers.
Thank you, appreciate it. Okay.
Any other questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes.
Make a motion to accept the annual report of July 1st, 2023 to June 30th, 2024.
Second.
Motion and second. Kathy?
I left a hard copy of the annual report. If you have an opportunity to go through it, there's lots and lots of information on it. So our staff, Amanda, works on this over the course of the year, and it's a good source of information. So I encourage everyone to look at it. And if you remember, it's 23, 24, so it's
Right.
in the rears. Okay.
Any questions for Kathy on the annual report?
Just thank you for making us look awesome.
Need the Photoshop?
Well, no, I'm not gonna talk about the legs.
You guys are great.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion passes.
Make a motion that the attached resolutions, items 1 through 8, be forwarded to the annual town meeting with a recommendation that they be approved.
Second.
Motion and second. Kathy?
So in these resolutions, you're moving the annual town report. You're doing the budget.
You're approving that a second town meeting be held if needed. We're appropriating $1 million for HVAC system at the Highway and Grounds Department garage. We're appropriating $2,650,000 for a bond question for the HVAC system and the roof at the Community and Senior Center. And then it also calls for to be included in the ballot questions on listing the times and places. So this is the resolution. It's moving the budget and those bond questions to the referendum and to the annual town meeting.
Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes.
Make a motion to approve the warning for the May 5th, 2025 second town meeting and the May 15th, 2025 referendum.
Second.
Motion second. Kathy?
So these are our warning and also our second town meeting if necessary.
Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes.
And 5, I make a motion to change the name of Johnson Avenue to Leibinger Way from Hyde Road to Plainville, to the Plainville Town Line.
Second.
Motion second. Kathy?
So this came at the request of Trump. They're planning on unveiling this new name, and this is something that we've been working with the town of Plainville on, and also with Trump to do this, and it's to change the name. The Plainville Town Council approved the name change for their portion of the road between Northwest Drive and Farmington Town Line on March 17th, and they are coordinating with the Aquarian Water Company to change the street address for their property in Plainville. We don't have any property except for our treatment plant, so we don't have to change any names. So it's an exciting time for Trump, and they've requested this, and I think that I'm strongly recommending that we do it.
All right. And there's no houses physically there on that street,
No.
so no one's physical address is
This has
getting
been-
screwed up.
Nope.
All right. Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes.
Make a motion to recommend the replacement of an HVAC system and roof at the Senior Community Center facility located at 321 New Britain Avenue, Unionville, to the Town Planning and Zoning Commission for a report under Section 8-24 of the Connecticut State Statutes.
Second.
Motion second. Kathy?
So we're just sending this project and our Highway and Grounds project to the Town Planning and Zoning for an 8-24. They have to do that when you have a referendum question, a bond question.
All right. Normal course of business. Any questions, please? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes.
Make a motion to recommend the replacement of an HVAC system at the Highway and Grounds facility located at 544 New Britain Avenue, Unionville, Connecticut, to the Town and Planning and Zoning Commission for a report under Section 8-24 of the Connecticut State Statutes.
Second.
Motion second. So the same thing as the one before?
Yes.
Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes.
To award bid number 353, raising of town-owned sanitary sewer manholes at various locations, to Sorelli Construction LLC of North Haven, Connecticut, for a total contract price of $191,900.
Second.
Motion second. Kathy?
This bid is to contract with a qualified vendor to raise sanitary sewer manholes on various roads in town. Periodically, the town hires a contractor to raise to road grade level sanitary sewer manholes that are below grade level due to road paving. Town staff has identified 51 manholes that must be raised to grade level, including 28 manholes on state roads. The state DOT will reimburse the town for the cost to raise the manholes on the state roads. And so we went out for bid, and this is the bid that we are recommending.
All right.
So
Any
is the
questions?
contract for all those 51?
Yes.
Okay.
Any other questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes.
I make a motion to move that the project titled Police Facility Generator Replacement be added to the fiscal year 2024-2025 capital budget, and that the town's fiscal year 24-25 local capital improvements LoCIP grant allocation in the amount of $219,438 be assigned to this project.
Second.
Motion second. Kathy?
We've been having a tremendous amount of problems with our generator at the police department, which again is not a great thing when it's a 24-hour operation. So we've been having to bring in a backup generator while we've been trying to get it fixed, hoping that there would be something that we could do to get it fixed. And it looks like after having it, did we have a backup one there 3 months, Joe? about 3 months with various people coming in, that we've determined that we can't get it fixed. And so Joe and I are recommending that we use our LoCIP capital improvement funds and get it done now, so we don't have to continue with the backup generator.
So this would be no funds coming out of our budget, all through LoCIP.
Correct. And if you look back on the budget document, you'll see that we added it on to that.
Any questions for Kathy?
Yes.
Yes.
Kathy, what are the requirements for the LoCIP grant?
Joe, could you answer that? They've changed recently.
Yeah, what you can use it to spend on is any type of capital project, other than rolling stock. You not buy rolling stock with it, but mostly you could do sidewalks, you could do open space acquisition, you could do, you cannot do Board of Education projects, you cannot do rolling stock, and you cannot do any project that has a match to it, like, there's a dam program, or it's not a dam program, a bridge program, you cannot use it for bridges. Otherwise, you can use it for building improvements, you could use it for public safety equipment. So it's got a wide variety. Prior to last year, you actually had to apply for the funds and identify a specific project you were going to use it for, and the state would approve it. Last year, they changed the requirement, and they give you the money up front, but you then have to tell them how you're going to spend the money. And what happens is, they took us all by surprise with this. The original plan was to actually apply for this money for the generator, but since they took away the application process and said, we're just giving you the money, we have to have it in our capital budget in order for it to be approved. The money, the other, hate to use the word, the other funky part about the new grant program is that the money comes in June, and you have to technically spend it by September. So we're caught in for 1 year, we're caught where we didn't have a project for it, but we have to spend it by September. So this seems to be the logical project. It's ready to go, and we can meet all the requirements. It meets all the requirements of the grant.
Thank you.
Timing is everything.
So is the current generator just in a state of disrepair? Like, I
It's
mean,
old.
It's 20 years old?
Yeah, it's
Right?
It's original to the building.
Yep.
We've had some breakdowns in the past, including some leakage of fluids and oil. Last summer, I think every once a week it's tested.
It's tested, right.
Last fall, it failed to run. And obviously, our dispatch is there, everybody's there, you need to have backup. So at that point, we tried to get it repaired, and we couldn't do it right away. It was a question of parts. So, again, because of the age.
Right.
And they thought they had it solved. They came in, they tried to fix it, it did not work.
Got it.
We brought in a backup generator. We had the backup generator for about 3 months. Incurred substantial costs for it. Then the second problem we ran into is the generator's so old, there's no technicians left that know how to fix it. So they actually brought somebody out of retirement to come here and fix it.
Right.
They have it working now. They do not guarantee it, and it could die at any time. So we're basically, even if you approve this tonight, we're probably not going to get a generator in there for 6 months.
Right. I was going to say, it's going to take some time. Yeah. Right.
So we want to get going on this. We're on borrowed time right now.
Got it. Okay.
Any other questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes.
You guys hit your hour. Just saying. Got a break in the action.
Keep it going, keep it going. The kids listen.
Got 5 more to go, so it's up to you.
From the principal's husband.
Elementary, you're way faster, don't worry about it. Yin and yang, that's the way we work. Okay. Make a motion to approve the Americans with Disabilities Act policy and grievance procedure.
Second.
Motion second, Kathy.
Just so you know, there's a bunch of items coming up. The next 4 or 5 items is April is our, we do all our policies. So this one is the Americans with Disabilities Act grievance procedure. There's no changes in our existing policy.
Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes.
Make a motion to approve the fair housing resolution for the town of Farmington and to authorize the town manager to sign and distribute said resolution.
Second.
Motion second, Kathy.
Again, April is Fair Housing Month, and we are doing a bunch of housing resolutions too.
Any questions for Kathy? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes.
I make a motion to adopt the Farmington Equal Employment Opportunity Program and Affirmative Action Plan for the town of Farmington.
Second.
Motion second. Kathy,
This is our plan. We did not make any changes over the course of the year.
any questions?
I just noted one thing on section 3.
Yep.
Responsibility for implementation.
Yep.
It still refers to the Director of Community and Recreational Services. Just a minor little thing, but since the title's changed, I don't know if we want to change that.
Yeah, we should do that. Can we make like a blanket one that just, that I'll look at, I'll go through them all to change that if I
Sure.
see any of them. Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Any other questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes.
I make a motion to adopt the compliance with Title VI of the Civil Rights Act of 1964 statement for the town of Farmington and authorize the town manager to sign and distribute said resolution.
Second.
Motion second. Kathy,
There's no changes.
any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes.
I make a motion to adopt the Fair Housing Policy Statement for the town of Farmington and to authorize the town manager to sign and distribute said resolution.
Second.
Motion second.
Again, no changes from the last time.
Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes.
Make a motion to cancel the April 22nd, 2025 regular town council meeting.
Second.
Motion second. Kathy,
Just a reminder that our annual town meeting is coming up on that Monday. Okay.
and Tuesday we'll still have, no, I thought you have no ad hocs?
We have our ad hoc sidewalks is tomorrow.
Okay.
Yeah, we've been meeting.
All right. Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes.
Make a motion to approve the following property tax refunds.
Second.
Motion second. Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. I believe that is it for motions. Congratulations, Keith. Look, the kids ran out of here, too.
Chased them out.
In a blink of an eye.
Make a motion to adjourn the April 7th, 2025 regular town council meeting.
Second.
Motion second. All in favor?
Aye.
Good night, everybody. Thank you very much.